Happy Friday. Hi, everyone. So good to see all of your faces. Those of you that can come to this room and show your face. We want to see you. So excited that you're here. Those of you that are here live right now watching on Facebook, you can always go to the comment section below and join us here in the Zoom room. I am so excited. Jojo, where are you? You're dropping in the evening, 11 p.m. Warrior. So happy to have you. Yay, we're gonna get started right away. You can just take a look around, check out who's here, say hello in the chat. My invitation for you is to, okay, I get really sidetracked, but Thailand, oh, I'm so jelly. I actually, since I got pregnant, I've been having this really deep desire for spirituality and like ashrams and just diving deep in. It's all my baby girl's fault. But imagine that you are here actually in a real room. So whether you're in the Zoom room or you're watching on Facebook, take a moment to really connect into the comments, to connect to people. Like if they've got a really cute vibe, you're like, hey, I love what you're wearing, or hey, I love your Zoom background. Like, where do you live? Like, make it a point to like really connect with those people that are here and make really good friends. Because my favorite part about what we get to do here, just a second, I want to turn on my mic. Just yeah, you can hear me in the chat. Yeah. So, what I really love is like the ability for us to go in and like connect with people that are doing wild, crazy things with really big dreams and on big missions and like connect with other soul sisters. And yes, I know there's some guys in here. And I also know too, not everyone identifies as male and female, like holding all of that, but just like soul connection, like heart to heart. I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and I get your wild, crazy dreams. Because for me, I'm riding such a high. And I know there's so many of you that I met this year, whether it was at Kerpalo in Massachusetts or in Canada, as she rises, like there's nothing like in-person events. And for me, I started my business as a woman that was desiring to lead international retreats because I know the power of coming together and really connecting. But also, like, I'm from Costa Rica. Drop in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you dropping in from? Where are you zooming in from? We get to be from all over the world. I seen Japan, I seen Thailand, I seen Spain, I seen Iowa, which is where I grew up. I grew up in the cornfields. Keywat, Wisconsin. Like it's so cool. Midwest represent from France, Pennsylvania, Germany, Canada, Florida. Like that's so epic. New Hampshire. Oh, wow. From the United Arab Emirates. Belgium. Wow. It's so cool, right? Like that we get to be from all over the world. And this is what happens at live events, at retreats, in the Zoom room. It's like this ability to shorten the distance of like where we get to connect and meet people from all over the world. But it's like, you're so different from me, but like you get me, I understand you. That's what's really cool for me. And to be really honest, I know I love this. Like, who here? Hi, Florida. Hi, Dency. Who here gets social anxiety when they're meeting new people or going to new places? Or who here
Hey,
experience?
hey,
So just make sure that you're muted when you hop on and then say hi, comment in the chat. I'm so happy that you're here, Anna. You're so beautiful. Let us know where you're coming in from. So what's really cool is like I am so socially, I have so much social anxiety. Like My heart beats out of my chest. I get really scared. Hi, me too. And what happens when we actually put ourselves in rooms is we get to embrace the insecurities that we feel, the doubts, those limiting beliefs. Because as soon as we like just open our heart a little bit, we make new best friends, soulmate connections from like leaning into the thing that is a little bit intimidating. And after speaking on a stage this last weekend, like I was literally sitting shoulder to shoulder with multimillionaires, pregnant with a little tiny girl in my belly. Like, how did I get here? Doing big release things that scare the heck out of me, like moving to Colorado where I knew no one, moving to Costa Rica where I knew no one. Like I would sit in my car and my heart would be out of my chest. Sometimes I would actually drive home and I actually wouldn't get out of the car. I would like go home. I would try and I was like, I just couldn't do it. And so I just kept leaning into that. And now I get to like meet people all over the world that actually, after I take away the pedestal and I don't put them up here and me down here, I'm like, oh, we all cry. We all have insecurities. We all poop. We all fart. We all burp. Like, we're just humans, but in our minds, this perception of how we see other people gets dissolved. So, anyone else experience that? My heart does this too. I can't even speak. Yeah, I feel that my heart beats so fast I can barely speak. Yeah. My heart rate starts beating so fast. I'm like, am I actually speaking when the words come out? Because all I can feel is the sensations in my body. So, invitation for you on this call to take a screenshot. If you want to, really quick before we get started, like take a screenshot, do a boomerang, and then like throw your phone across the room. Tag me, tag a friend. Everyone that's here on the call, drop your Instagram handle, the URL, so people can easily click it and go and follow you. And then tag a new friend that you met here today and maybe where they're at and how you connected with them. And then just like throw your phone across the room or turn it on airplane mode. I stopped like throwing my phone because my son does that for me enough. The back's actually broken. So if you want to take a screenshot, share it, and then put your phone away so that you can just like give yourself this time to like be fully here. We're really good multitaskers. Can I get a me in the chat? Are you a really good multitasker? But then you're like, wait, what did I just watch in that training? What did she actually say? You go to contemplate it later and you actually missed everything because you were doing all of these other things. At least that's how I am. So tell me what you think happens in your body, dudes. Tell me how it feels in your body. What does your mind tell you when you think $1 million? When you think making $1 million? When you think having $1 million? What happens? I feel great. I love that. Fun, constriction, expansive. My heart races even faster. You're alive. Abundance, doubt. I love the duality, both expansion and contraction. And then you named it. You're like, I feel both. Freedom. Yeah. When you think about your goal for 2024, yeah, and what you want in 2025, how much money do you want to make? What's your goal? What's your like, okay, I know I'm probably going to hit that, but here's like my really expansive, big dreaming goal. Because $1 million moves isn't necessarily about making $1 million. It's what is your stretch? What is your like, oh my gosh, if this happened, like I would poop my pants. Like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, I can't believe I just made that actually happen.
No, you went out.
Just make sure that you're muted. Thank you. Really important. that you have your own stretchy, expansive goal, because big moves is about stretching your capacity to hold more, not what anyone else thinks. There's so many fancy numbers out on the internet, but like other people's fancy numbers isn't necessarily yours, especially if you're like me. Like, I wear my swimsuit, I'm barefoot, like my life is really simple. And I also love to like get ready and go dress up nice and like go out to things, live events and retreats, and the ability to upgrade to first class, because like I get so claustrophobic in the back of the airplane. It makes me like really cringy in the back. I'm just like, I feel so stuck. And also share with us, what is your magic in the world? Like, what's your secret sauce? What's your mission? What's the legacy that you're leaving behind? What's the movement that you're creating? 4 years ago, I just wanted to make $10,000 and I did not believe that was possible. I had so much doubt. Like, I was a yoga teacher teaching 16 yoga classes a week. I was making like 6K a year. And I'm like, I accidentally found my way into a sales funnel. Who here knows what a sales funnel is? And I was like, what do you mean? I can make 10K a month teaching yoga? Get out of here. And it's crazy because even though I didn't believe it, I took the leap. And I know so many of you have heard this story before, but there's so many of you new ones too. I took the wild, crazy leap. I put it onto my credit card and I just showed up every day as if it was happening, even though I didn't believe it was possible. And my first year, I did $100,000. And I was like, what? And the second year, I did $140,000. Side note, I'd been teaching yoga for 8 years. I had a massive, warm, hot audience of people that wanted to learn how to embody their yoga, who wanted to take yoga off of the mat and create a wild, like I had an audience to make that happen. But the thing is like along my journey with this big, wild, crazy dream, I was abandoning myself upon what other coaches told me would work and what people would pay for. What I needed to put into my marketing and my messaging because of what would and wouldn't work. And because I was so devoted to my mission and having a lot of impact, I was willing to do anything. And I just kept giving my inner power away, chasing the strategy and ditching my inner knowing. Has that ever happened to any of you before where you did something, you followed the rule someone told you, and you're like, that's not me. That's not what I do. That's not who I am. Maybe it's even in a relationship you experience that. Right now it's happening. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Seeing you all. I experienced that. I said this on stage, but I literally paid a coach. I left the coaching container with, I help women lose weight doing yoga. That was so far from what I did, but it was a massive byproduct of doing embodiment work. And then I was like, what am I even doing? And so when you follow what other people want you to do, those that are inside of the Ripple Collective, which is now the Wave, know that I will never tell you what to do. I will share with you what I do, how I do it, and ways that my clients do it, because my clients don't do it like I do it. They take bits and pieces and find their own unique way, because it's like a diet or an exercise routine. What works for one person will not work for another. It's like learning to listen to like your unique way and finding what is sustainable for you to do really, really long term. Because after 2 years of being really successful, like I was making money and I had over 125 clients in my first ever program. I would get messages from my clients' husbands, their coworkers, my clients' clients being like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, my wife is not angry anymore. Thank you. Hey, I just want to let you know, like, working with her is so much easier. And I know that you're the reason. Like, I would get messages like this of the time, and that felt really good. But the problem was that I lost myself in my mission. So I was holding this duality of like, it's working, I'm having an impact, but like, I don't feel good about it. And I was honestly attracting through the marketing and the messaging that these coaches told me, it was like really disempowered women, women that I had to like drag with me rather than walk with me. And so I followed the rules, but I lost myself along the way, and it was way more work. than what I've had to do in these last coming years of like, I found my own way. And that's when I ditched the strategy. I'm curious if anyone here has ever ditched a strategy and found out like their own unique strategy works. Maybe it's with your exercise and your diet routine. Maybe it's with like how to find your person. Maybe it's with actually in business as well. Yes. Intuitive eating instead of diets. Totally. I want to walk with you and not be dragging behind you, weighing you down. Yeah. Yeah. It's like we get to do this together. That's what's so empowering. It's like we get to do this together. Do you guys feel that? Like this is some like that is what I love about retreats, in-person events and experiences is like we get to do this together. And I'm so high off the two events I went to. Like I'm going to be inviting you all to here for more live in December if you're not already coming. I know so many of you already are, and we're also looking for facilitators and speakers. But like one thing that's so powerful is like when other people see you, they really see you, they get you. Who here knows what your magic really is? Like, you know, with every part of your being, why you're here and what you're good at. Yes? Me? Working on it? Yes, yes. How did you discover your magic? Just be yourself. Exactly. Yes, life is magic. Yeah. So one thing is that I sat on the stage with all of these other women and we would answer questions. One of the biggest questions that came through is like, what's been your biggest ROI? And every single person was like long-term mentorship. And it's like long-term mentorship plus long-term friendship will show you and reflect to you your greatest gifts and magic and also your darkness and your shadows. You know, you go from relationship to relationship, and your partner is like telling you all those things that you do that like twerk their buttons. You're like, oh, I've heard that before. But they also reflect to you like that gift that you have and you hold. Long-term mentorship and investing in one person or one group is like you let people see you like a sister, a best friend. Like, no one gets me like them. No one gets me like her. Like, they get you, they see you, and they see your shine. Do you all have a person like that in your life? Masterminding. It's so powerful. And it's where many of my gifts have been reflected back to me that I didn't even notice were there yet. Like before I became a mother, I was always mothering because I became my own mother at 12 and I became my sister's mother at 14. Then I became the mother to my clients, just like so caretaking. And that's always been a gift that I have. And now I actually get to have children and mother them. And it's the greatest gift. But there's other gifts that underlie that. And it happens in these longer relationships. And that's when my business really blew up, is when I held a mentor for a really long time. And I held biz besties for a really long time that really allowed me to see them and them to see me, and us brainstorm and workshop together. That's one thing that I love so much about the wave is those that are inside of my container, they get together weekly, monthly, they're collaborating, they're networking, they're going to each other's classes, they're helping each other with the marketing and the messaging. They're going to meet up in Spain next week. Like all of these things are happening, but it's like, and they get to do the life together. And so I want to be honest with you because for a really long time, I was in my business. And as I was in my business, I was short-term thinking. And so many people say they want it, or so many people say they're all in, but there's a tippy toe, a pinky toe that's not quite all the way in. The inner world through these feelings, these thoughts, these emotions inside reflect the outer world. We'll pull my pinky toe. Have you ever experienced, like, just personally, you say you're all into a relationship, you're all into your business, you're all into this retreat, you're all into this thing, but you realize that you're not actually all the way in. Like, you're all the way in, but you're not all the way in. And what holds you back from going all the way in? I know it's this, like, okay, I'm gonna do this if it works, or I'm going to do this, and if it doesn't work, I'll just do it all over again. Or I'm going to bring this to life, but if it doesn't come to life, then I'm going to jump to this other thing and jump to this other thing. But what you really want is this one thing, but you didn't stick with it long enough to refine and master it. I've had over 7,000 people go through my mini course. And it's wild because there's so many testimonials and success stories of people, the best experience they've ever had, the best course they've ever taken. And then there's some people like, it just didn't work for me. It's horrible. Worst $47 I spent. But I go to their social media marketing, I go to their landing page, and they're actually not doing anything that I taught from the sold out retreat mini course. Like, they're not doing the work, but they're all in. They did everything. I did everything you said and it didn't work. But then you go and see, and they're not actually implementing what you taught. So sometimes we say that we're doing it, but we don't realize that we have our blinders on and we can't fully see. Power of mentorship, someone else seeing what's happening, someone else seeing where you're letting fear or doubt or insecurity hold you back, or where you're like, I'm going to make this one investment. And if this one investment, I don't get the ROI right now, then I'm just, it's not going to work. I'm just now seeing the ROI I got on a training and a course that I took in 2019. I'm just now seeing it 5 years later. Compounding interest because I'm really utilizing it. And so deepening the relationship with yourself and letting other people see you and share with you. There will be a lot of people that are like strangling their business or strangling the strategy or strangling the coach. Like, it has to be this and it has to be now and it has to be this time. And that's not long-term vision. That's not long-term investing. That's not long-term, like, when it happens, I'll know everything that I've done up until this point has gotten me here. Any relationship where you're like, you can't go there, let me check your phone when you get home, what time will you be here, who are you going to be with, can I have all of their phone numbers? That never works in any type of relationship. And so when we have that relationship too with our business, it can keep us stuck. And this year is the year that I was like, I am going to go all in on every single area that I desire. I'm going to up level my branding. I'm going to hire the business coach that I actually don't need because I just 3x my income, but I want her in my back pocket. I'm going to apply to speak on stages because that scares the heck out of me. This here is comfortable for me. I've been doing it for 4.5, almost 5 years. Like, this has gone easy. Hosting events and retreats for me is easy. Going to other people's and speaking on their stages, that scares me. So I'm stretching my capacity to hold more of the uncomfortable. Who here feels called out right now in some sort of capacity? You can raise your hand, drop it in the chat, or maybe not. and your business is booming and you feel super good inside. The truth is, honestly, like, business is so easy. Like, you can learn it anywhere. YouTube will teach you everything you need to know about growing an online business, leading retreats, podcasts, Instagram. There's so much strategy out there. It's literally everywhere. Marketing on what you're missing or why you're not there is why so many people are successful, because we fall for they can solve our problem. They're going to give us that one missing link that we don't have or know. But then you go through it and you're like, wait a minute, like I feel defeated. I feel like I've been scammed. Or you get the results and you've lost your soul because you did it their way. But then what's the point? Right? Like, what's the point? If we're just going to like follow that little track. It's set up to be that way, but really every strategy works. It's the mind and the heart and our belief in it, our vision in it. I dropped a meditation for you all, gifted it to you inside of the $1,000,000 Masterclass. We have the ability to see our vision and feel it right now. You can live your future manifestation every single day and every single moment as often as you can. And those feelings are real. The body doesn't know past, present, or future. And so you can live your dream life in your mind all day long, every single day. And that's the power of really owning our power. And that you can make any strategy work if you're willing to have long-term vision with your relationship. Devote yourself to long-term mentorship. Devote yourself to long-term relationships. Where will you be with your clients if you work with them for a year or 2 years? How deep and what depth will you get to know them? Or those of you that do retreats and you see the same people every single year and they're like, wow, I learned so much from you again this year because I was a different person when I came. And it just went deeper. I remember on this last retreat that I held, a client of mine that has been coming every single year for 4 years. We just cried so deeply because we learned so much about each other that we hadn't known before. And it's like, how we've been working together online for 4.5 years because it was the depth, the safety, the security that happened in the root chakra, the base of the spine. The foundation of your business is stability, security, longevity. And so when I stop saying like, I wish or I will when, do you ever say that? I'll do this when XYZ, or I wish I could. And then you're like waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And it's like, you keep saying that. Or who here has a potential client or someone that's like, one day I'm going to come to your retreat. One day I'm going to work with you. You're on my vision board. And you're like, you've been saying that. I've been doing retreats in Costa Rica for 8 years and you send me that message every single year, honey. I'll be here. You know, it's like they're just waiting and they're just waiting and they're just waiting. But like, are you mirroring that in any way? Yeah, I used to get this one so much. I get people in my DMs, they're like, Amber, your follower count for your engagement is really low. Here's why you should work with me. And I'm like, well, let me just tell you that my engagement is really low, but my sales are really high. So the moment that I went from you're so inspiring to I want to work with you, my engagement went down, but my sales went up. It's two different types of marketing strategies, messaging and sales, and incorporating that in. But when I stopped saying I wish or I will when, and I just started doing it, I stopped limiting myself. I had a client one time be like, I'm not going to invest in anything until this happens. I was like, don't say never. Like, don't put that pressure on yourself because I've done that before. And then it just holds you back. What if it's just like, I'm going to do everything that I desire to do and that I can do now? however long it takes. So when I stopped imagining that there would be this point when I got there, that I would do these things and that this would happen, and I just started realizing that like life is happening now in the moment. And the more that I can make moves now, the scary moves, the brave moves, like we can't just make comfortable moves. It has to be like, that was scary for me last time. Like when I first started investing, $6,500 was a big stretch for me. It scared me like crazy. It was like I strangled my business, the coach, and the program. Like, you need to give me an ROI now. I was like counting every single client until I got my ROI. And that mentorship is still coming back to me. And then now I've stretched my capacity to have multiple five figures into an investment. But we stretch our capacity, like what's our ability to stretch? I used to host masterclasses for 5 people to 30 people. And now I've had anywhere from, this one has 300 signed up. My last one had 600 signed up. I just spoke on stage in front of 200 people. Our capacity to hold. What's the capacity to hold? So doing big things that scare you now. I told my coach this year, I'm going to host a live event next year. I'll do it next year. Next year seems really good. And then I launched it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing in 4 months? You're going to have a live event and retreat. Like, what is even happening? And I was like, no, I don't want to live next year. I want to do it right now. And also like doing all of that while having a son already and a husband. My husband does not understand what I do. Does your people understand what you do? My husband's like, I think she like teaches yoga or something, but I'm not really sure. And then I had a friend come over 2 days ago. We were sitting outside and she's like, so I know you do retreats and stuff, but like, I keep seeing you online and I'm not really sure what you do. And so it's like, no, most people don't understand what we do unless they're doing what we do, right? And so it's like really getting in and like understanding that like there is never going to be a time in your life where you get there and you're done. Like I arrived the end because you're devoted to growth. And by the time you get the manifestation that you have in your heart, you're already going to want to be somewhere else. Who here has experienced that already? I wanted this, and when I get there, it's going to be perfect. Then you got there and you're like, and now I want this, and I want this, and I want this. This is commitment to growth. It's not out of lack. It's like, I'm so freaking committed to growth that I'm going to do this no matter what. And I'm going to keep dreaming and I'm going to keep desiring. And there isn't anything that you can't have right now. Who has ever manifested something so quickly? Like they had a thought, they had a desire, they had a thing, and it showed up like almost instantly. You're like, whoa, that was lightning fast. And sometimes we have visions, they don't manifest. And we're like, why isn't that here? And then you find out 7 years later, thank you, Jesus, God, source, universe, for not giving me that. I do not want that. Thank you for saving me. Sometimes it takes 7 years to realize, actually, that wasn't the perfect fit. Thank you. Thank you for not being here. And what we have to really do is like trust in what is meant for us will align in the perfect timeline. But the more that we move, the sooner and the quicker that we find out. The more that we move, the quicker we'll find out. And so how do you know what is the right strategy for you? How do you know whether to make this move or that move? How do you know when it's time to listen to you? Share with me in the comments. How do you know when it's time? What do you know as like, okay, I'm doing this? And it's okay if you're still figuring this one out. Intuition, gut feeling. When it feels right, goosebumps. I'm scared. Yeah. When I'm scared, I'm like, okay, this is the right thing to do. And I don't want to do this. Oh, y'all, when I made my decision this year, this is going to be the richest year of my life. I meant rich in connection, experience, moments, connection, experience, moments. I had no idea the decisions that I was going to have to make. And I was like, no, not this. Like I was going to make all these decisions until this. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. Who you are is a frequency, an energy. You know, like when you walk in a room and you can just feel that person. Or how many of you here walk into a room and people are like, wow, your presence is so powerful? Like, it's an energetic force. And you can lie to yourself all day long. You can lie to people all day long externally. You can fake it. Some people really show how confident they are, but inside they're struggling. But your body knows. No matter how many lies you tell yourself here in the mind, the body is speaking. The body is communicating. You can't actually lie to yourself. You can lie to your mind. Your mind can try to trick. The mind is so powerful. And that's why, like, when you're afraid and you're in fight or flight, your body doesn't know if you're running from a tiger or you're about to go speak on stage in front of 200 people. But like, if your boyfriend's cheating on you, your girlfriend's cheating on you, or your significant other's cheating on you, and you have that gut feeling and you know, or you date someone and you're like, I know this isn't the person for me, and you ignore it, you ignore it, you ignore it, and then it's like, you can't ignore it anymore because you got dis-ease in the body. Your body knows. And so when you hold duality of what it is you desire and any doubt or fear, and you hold them both and you take the action, you get to where you want to go. And that's the big, bold moves. That's the $1 million move or the 10K a month move. I literally have a client where she's like, every year I have to stop this, and this because my mentor talks about, like, one of her best clients sold her $10,000 car to invest in her. And she's like, what are you doing? This woman is now a millionaire. It's like trusting in what it is you want and funneling your money. A lot of times you'll get people say, I can't afford that. And then you see them out at a concert and out at the bar and eating out. You're like, she just told me she couldn't afford that. Or you see them go on a retreat or hire a coach that's 10 times more. They activated a feeling in their body that made that person move. They had a feeling in their body that made them move. You had a feeling in your body that made you move. And so they can both coexist. And this is in part of the meditation that I shared with you guys. Doubt, fear, insecurity, all of those things. You can be confident, powerful, and scared. But the scared person that stays at home when what they really desire is to go keeps them where they are, where it's like year after year looks the same. But for those of us that just keep making moves, our lives just keep getting better and better. And it's great when you can see other people that are doing this. And I know JoJo just shared, like, I just had a retreat and 2 of the same people came because they felt the transformation the first time. They were willing to give you whatever you charged for the next one. One of my private mastermind clients right now, she had a retreat of 18 people. Like, I think she said 6 of them signed up for her next retreat and 7 of them signed up for her next workshop. They felt in the moment, they felt the transformation, and they moved. There was no doubt because they experienced it now. So it's like, how can you experience that in your life and then share that with your clients? Tapping into the sensations of your body is personal power that no one can take away from you. I knew my first business coach's strategy was not right for me, and I ignored my body for years. Who else has felt something in their body and they ran from it? Scrolled too long on the phone, 2 hours go by, they didn't want to feel it, ate a pint of ice cream, went to the refrigerator and ate all of it because something happened. Snacks. and then rather than feeling it, you numbed it. Guilty. I'm so guilty. Especially with social media. This is a big one. People will scroll, judge, compare. They know where to go on the internet that's going to make them feel even worse, and they go there. I'm like, why did I do that? You know that's going to make you feel that way. And so it's like, how often, do we avoid what we don't want to feel? Yeah, I love ice cream until I don't. Love to eat when I don't want to feel. Yeah. So what are some things in your life or business where you go away or against what your body told you to be true? And what rituals, mantras, meditations do you come back to regularly to keep yourself in your power? What's your go-to meditation? Fire. Awesome. Yoga. Yoga and meditation. So that's just daily cleansing. When I was about to go on stage, I had a pee break. I had many pee breaks. Anyone pregnant knows what that means. And as I went to the bathroom, I was like, oh shit. After lunch, it's my turn to go on stage. And the moment that I had that thought, my heart exploded out of my chest, just completely exploded out of my chest. And I was like, well, you could not go. I had a thought to myself. And instead, I felt the sweat in my armpits. I felt the heart beating out of my chest. And I just breathed with the feelings and the sensations. And I took that with me up onto stage. And that entire time, I was just regulating what I was feeling in my body. Sometimes it's like, what can I do to feel what is arising now and holding both of those feelings and sensations? The desire for where you want to go, and also the feeling of what you're experiencing right now in the moment. But daily rituals, daily asana, daily practice. I felt so called out by my coach yesterday who was teaching and training on bypassing what we're feeling by self-regulation tools. And I was like, oh, yeah, an escape. But I had a remembrance in my body when I was able to hold them both as I was afraid to go on stage. I've also felt that when I went to make the biggest investment in a mentor that I made this year. I was like, why would I hire her? Why would I not? And when I got clear on those two answers, I was like, well, you got to hire her. And I didn't pay for a couple days because I wasn't ready to hold that duality. It's another thing that you can take in is like, what do you do for yourself when you're feeling that? And then also when your clients are on the other end of that, potential clients are on the other end of that, trusting their process to the other side of the leap. One of my one-on-one clients, she was going to hire me 2 months ago. She just hired me this last week, and I didn't do anything differently. I just held space for her, continued showing up as if, and she was finally ready to make the leap. On the other side of that leap, you better believe she had mindset work. Like, of course you do. You're taking the leap into the unknown, and you're not there yet, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to get there when you just made the leap. You take the leap, and then the how unfolds. And I can tell you strategy all day long. Like, I have programs, literally everything you can think of. How I made 9K in a launch using Instagram Reels, all organically, no paid ads. Marketing and messaging strategies that eliminate sales calls. That was Cash Combo. We just did that. Facebook ads that bring me 5 times my investment, spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on Facebook ads. Once you get your marketing and your messaging really good organically, you can put fuel to the fire. Creating life transforming and sold out retreats. You name it, I have all of those strategies. But the key to like long-term devotion to your work is refining and mastering your gifts and your skills without losing who you are and what you do, while giving yourself permission to grow and evolve who you are and what you do. You're not who you were a year ago, right? Like, are you completely different? Like, are you transformed? Is how you show up in your life different? Because I've had to work with a lot of clients where they're like, I've built something so successful. How can I grow past this? But this isn't working anymore because you've grown past this. But this isn't working anymore because you've grown past it. And it's hard to let that go. So, how can you show up and lead in your business being the example of growth and evolution? Y'all heard me. I was a self-love coach and then I was a weight loss coach for yoga. And now I'm a multi-passionate business coach, spiritual entrepreneur. Like it changes, it grows and evolves. But like what doesn't change is your heart. Some of you here on the call have been with me for 5+ years. Some people in the wave, they've been with me since I was live, laugh, love. That's what I got tattooed on me because my dad died. Always, always stepping into the person that you want to become. That's the $1,000,000 move. And give yourself permission to grow and evolve all the ways, always. Anyone ever outgrown a partner or been afraid of outgrowing a partner and then fell back in love with that partner that you outgrew? That's growth and evolution with your business, yourself, your life, your person. That's long term mentorship. So stay committed to the personal, in touch, and in tune with your body, yourself. You are the greatest gift that you will ever give yourself. Your relationship and who you are, like solo dates, sacred mornings, having hard conversations with yourself, and surround yourself with rule breaking, unapologetic, unconventionally living and leading businesses and lives that just don't make sense, where no one really quite understands what you do, because what you do is always changing and evolving. When I go through the checkout line or the immigration line coming into Costa Rica, they always ask me what I do, and I'm like, how do you explain to them what you do? Or when I just went to As She Rises in Canada, they're like, what are you here for? And I'm like, how do I explain what I'm here for? You As She Rises babes will get that. But surrounding yourself with people, they see you, they call you out, they reflect back to you your magic and your gifts. Yeah, you girls get me. I had a hard time with that. Real wealth is feeling fulfilled and at peace with yourself, regardless of what is happening. If you're so devoted to seeing something come to life and your program or your retreat starts in X amount of time, do you go all the way to the finish line, or you're like, no, I'm just going to push it off till next month, or I'm just going to push it off till next year? What is your cutoff date where you run to the finish line until this point of it? Because it's easy. Like my first retreat that I ever led, I had 0 people signed up 1 month before. 0 people. And I was a lot of money in debt, 2K plus. And I had 0 people. I played all out to the very end, and 6 magical human beings fell from the sky and came to my retreat. So, really locking in the long term vision of what you're birthing, and that's going to change everything. It's like dieting and exercise. The weight that you lose only stays off if you keep with it. That's why there's always a new diet, because they won't get you on the next diet trend out there because you already tried all of those other ones. But this one, it's very different. Spiritual practices are the exact same way. Your inner wealth becomes your external wealth. The more spiritually wealthy and rich you become on the inside, the more pause that you have to the external that's happening on the outside. And the more that you can trust in what you're birthing and bringing to life, the more you can enjoy the journey of where you're growing. And that's where your frequency is literally just the presence of you holding and being with yourself. And can you show up and act as if it's already here? What action steps would you take today? What would you do now today if you were already there? Because if you can start doing those things now, you'll be there much quicker. And get clear. Do some inner reflection on that. What moves aren't you making right now because you are not there yet? Like, I'll eat healthy when? I'll start dieting when? Becoming a mother has been my spiritual practice. Because let me tell you, having a 2-year-old that likes to bite, hit, and throw is not fun. But being able to have a pause and not a reaction when you tell him the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and he still doesn't get it. Thank you, spiritual practices, for helping me stay calm with my toddler who actually just doesn't have a brain right now. It's not his fault. So really get clear on your I am statements. I am a multi six figure earner. I am a wave maker. I am a visionary. I am a heart led centered entrepreneur. I am a public speaker getting paid on stages. What are your I am statements that you can live by? And also, what are your rituals with your mind, body, heart, and soul that you can stay cleansing? And let that be the compounding interest that it's like you don't have to do them every day, but you have a spiritual piggy bank that is so full and rich that on the times that you can't practice, you still have things to pull from. Drop your biggest takeaway in the chat. What are you done saying, I wish, and you're going to start? I wish I had a podcast. I wish I brought on more podcast speakers. I wish I had a live event. And what are you going to put together now, today? Who's not already investing? Who's like investing into the past version of themselves, but not the future version of themselves? Who here is like just investing just enough, but not enough to stretch? I will create my online course. As a Manny Gen, I could say so many things. I'm a projector and I have a lot of ideas. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Manny Gen. I am a heart centered entrepreneur who makes seven figures. Yes, babe. So, today I want to share with you a really exciting opportunity. I'm doing buy one, get one free for my live event happening in December. I'm also taking facilitators and speakers who want to come here and share their magic. Here for more is like, I want more sisterhood. I want more connection. I want more impact. I want to have the strategies to build a movement, to build a sales funnel that brings in 20K without working. I want to have these strategies. But I also want to become the person that it's going to take to have that. This is in Costa Rica. I am in Costa Rica. And I'm also going to share with you a super special offer that I made. I made just for you all this morning because I was like, what's the no-brainer? Like, let's do life together for an entire year. The Wave, formerly known as the Collective. The Wave is my monthly membership. And it's what are you going to do to build a movement that allows you to make sales and impact every single day with a community of soulmate sisters. So many of you here are on the call and in the collective. Like, just share your biggest takeaways, like what you love about this. The reason I love the collective so much is like they get together on networking calls that I'm not even a part of. They don't even invite me. I just hear about it from my private client who's also in the collective. It's a community of wave makers who are like, I want spirituality and devotion to myself to meet making millions, changing lives with people who get it. The Wave is where I give daily coaching. We have a free challenge every single month. The challenge this month and this masterclass is a part of that. $1 million moves. So every single day on our private podcast channel, I'm dropping in what are $1 million moves. The trainings that are already in the vault that you get access to, plus daily coaching every single day, is 40-day Kundalini practices that'll allow you to awaken your life force energy, moving up the chakra system from the me, mine, and I to the we, us universal consciousness, breaking through any limiting beliefs or blocks that are holding you back. There's the I Know Who the F I Am masterclass, which is part one of this masterclass is how to never lose yourself in the strategy. It's a 90-minute training where I show you the exact strategy that I've used in the last 2 years to create free and paid offers, low ticket free offers, take them from social media to your email list to a live experience with you into a paid offer. And you get to do that for all the offers that you create, but it's important you have a strategy And you see it all the way through before you add in a whole bunch. Identity here, who I've been working with for years now, she's like, how do you do all of the things? I do one thing at a time and then I add in a new thing. But I don't add in a new thing until the thing I created before is working. There's a training in there on how to create a freebie. So take your ever growing social media content to paid clients with trainings and templates that you can follow. The Barefoot and Rich Masterclass, how to build wealth and grow your business unconventionally your way. The Wealth and Ease 3-day masterclass. So once you start making money in your business, how do you begin to invest it into your business so that you can actually create financial freedom? Making a lot of money means nothing if you spend a lot of money. How do you invest the money that you make so one day you can become financially free? Financially free means the amount of wealth that you have in your bank account brings you enough interest every single month that it covers your cost of living. Who here wants that? I'm working on it. I'm working on it, but I'll never stop working. I want you to be able to work because you desire to, not because you have to. There's also how to launch your offers into the world. So my way of launching is throwing a party, a sacred invitation where you invite people like your birthday party or your wedding, the right people. Because there's nothing like having clients that are not a good fit that don't get results, right? We're here for impact. So you want to make sure that the people that you invite into your offers are the perfect fit. And then you go on vacation. Like you go on vacation while you're selling so that you can live a life that you're like, it's free. I'm open to it. I don't care if you buy because I know if this is a good fit, you will buy. And I'm going to enjoy my life doing what I love while I'm in launch phase. Like that's my favorite way to launch. Hence to why next week I'm going to Disney World and going to speak on another stage, like going to another live event is like, I want to have fun while I'm in launch phase. I'm selling out my live event in December and I'm going to be on vacation, becoming the evidence of what happens when you go to live events, when you go on vacation, when you pour into your family and you're doing something really hard. I've never launched a live event or a retreat in 4 months before. I'm like, my client Amber says, let's fuck around and find out. But I'm not going to just fuck around. I have a strategy behind it. Biz archetypes. So there's 4 business archetypes, and they're different personas that you'll want and need to embody at different times and seasons in your business. And how can you tap into these different archetypes in your business so you can have optimal alignment? We have the tech tutorial. So how many of you love tech? How to fall in love with tech and biz. There's the Think Like a CEO, so 3-day masterclass going from hobby to running a wildly successful business company while not being online 24/7. Instagram Gold is inside of there, and I know Deanne was in here. She was in my year-long CEO Ripple Collective. She's like, what is her testimonial? It's here on the sales page. Instagram Gold was super helpful. I've more than doubled my followers in the last 3 months, and I had several really big reels. One that was 176,000. So how to make your tiny little app into a cash making machine without looking like everyone else on the internet. And to be honest, inside of the CEO formerly known, the Wave, there are so many trainings. Since last November, I have done a daily download coaching every single day on the podcast channel that you get instant access to it when you join. And then you're going to get 2 tickets to hear from more live in addition to the CEO Ripple Collective, formerly known as the Wave. And so for all of this, it's 12 months together, 2 tickets to hear for more live, only $12.97. Insane. Just the tickets alone is $600. Just the year inside of the CEO formerly, the Wave, it's $1,200. I'm comparing it all together so that you can come not only get to know your biz besties from the Wave, but also like spend an entire year together and like where will we be and what will we celebrate in 1 year. That's my invitation to you. If you have any questions, let me know. And you can also gift one of your tickets to someone else here. I can stay on for a couple minutes. Oh, Jessica left. Can't wait to connect more. I just joined the wave. Yay! I'm so excited to have you in the wave, celebrating you so much. Yeah, literally, the wave is the best place that I hang out on the internet. I pour into it every single day, live trainings, meditations. I shared with you the meditation from there. We have so many master classes that are inside of the vault for any type of strategy that you need, embodiment, mindset, leadership, funnels, all the things. And really, it's just my sister circle and where you create your sister circle. And if you need a reason to come to Costa Rica, and if you have any questions, reach out to Adensi. Her and I have been one-on-one masterminding all the different things for several years, but it's a really amazing space. And you're going to get 2 free tickets to come to Costa Rica. And once you join and you come to Costa Rica, like, you'll get into the Facebook group where you can Airbnb or room with other people. And this event in and of itself is worth the entire year collective investment. You're going to walk in one person and leave a different person just because of the people that you get to surround yourself with. Not to mention the facilitation, the dance, the meditation, the kundalini that we do. We'll have guest speakers on building a brand, what it means to have a brand where people think about you even when you're not online. Yes, that's the best, right? Like, people think about barefoot and they're like, barefoot? Amber, that's Amber. Yeah, barefoot in the jungle, that's me. And so just this live event, like, if you do anything for yourself, come hang out with us in the jungle, meet some friends. If you have gifts you want to share, you want to speak on stage, you want to facilitate some sort of workshop, like, reach out to me. I'm really excited to make this a collaborative experience. One of my biz besties will be there, Amber, she's right now in Europe, so I don't think she's here on the call. But she also will be like my MC, sharing her story. And I want to make this a collective experience, really, where, like, this is a wave that we all get to ride. And then it's like you bring your people onto the wave and your people onto the wave. And the bigger the wave that we make in our own lives, the bigger impact that we have. And we do that together through and in community. And if you don't come this year, I know you'll come next year. But, like, this year, it's the baby tiny planted seed. And if you have something that you want to share, like, just bring your presence. That gift is enough. All right. I'll send out the replay. I'll send out the special gift and all the details for the wave and the bonus of the 2 tickets as well. And you guys know my DMs are always me. My email is always me. So you can reach out there. And thank you all for taking the time to be here. I appreciate you. Bye.